Every morning, when the first ray of sunlight barely begins to tint the sky with orange hues, Clara is already up, moving with agility and precision in her small kitchen. The clock strikes 5 in the morning, but for her, the day starts much earlier. In a modest and cozy house, the aroma of sugar and caramel begins to fill the air, a promise of sweetness for those who will cross paths with her later on the street. Clara, a 35-year-old mother of 3, faces a grueling but essential routine every day. Since the death of her husband in a tragic accident, the responsibility of providing for her family has completely fallen on her shoulders. Despite the pain and difficulties, she has found in confectionery a way to support her children and offer them a decent life. Her hands, though, marked by hard work, move with skill and care as she kneads dough and wraps candies in brightly colored papers. Her day begins with the meticulous preparation of ingredients. Clara selects each one with care, ensuring everything is fresh and in perfect condition. As the sweets take shape, her mind reviews the day's task list, from shopping at the market to visiting her children's school. Martine, the eldest, is 14 and has taken on a protective role towards his younger siblings, 10-year-old Sophia and 6-year-old Lucas. Although Clara tries to keep her children focused on their studies and enjoy their childhood, she cannot prevent them from seeing and understanding the daily sacrifice she makes for them. With the first batch of sweets done, Clara takes a moment to look out the window. The dawn light reflects in her eyes, filling them with a mix of hope and determination. Despite the early hours and the fatigue that often threatens to overwhelm her, she never lets her children see her falter. Her strength lies not only in her ability to work tirelessly, but also in her constant smile and unwavering optimism. After preparing lunches and getting the kids ready for school, Clara loads her cart with freshly made sweets. The cart, hand-painted in vibrant colors, is an extension of her cheerful spirit and creativity. Each candy is a work of art, a little spark of joy in a world that often seems gloomy. As she leaves her home, Clara bids her children farewell with a hug and a kiss. Her words of encouragement and love are a promise that, no matter what happens, they will always be together. With the cart by her side, she heads to her usual corner, where passers-by already know her well. Some greet her familiarly, others stop to buy her sweets, drawn by their irresistible aroma and her warm smile. Clara's routine is a testament to her strength and dedication. Each day is a struggle, but also a victory. Her effort not only feeds her children, but also teaches them the value of hard work, resilience, and hope. As the sun rises in the sky, Clara keeps going, facing the day with the same determination and love that has sustained her from the beginning. The sun was already high in the sky when Clara arrived at her usual corner, located at a busy intersection in the city. The hustle and bustle of people and the constant sound of traffic did not overshadow the energy and warmth she emanated. With a radiant smile, she began to display her sweets, carefully arranging them on the cart, ensuring that each candy, each little cake, was perfectly presented. Her corner became an oasis of sweetness amidst the bustling city. Despite the exhaustion she often felt, Clara never let fatigue show on her face. Her children were her greatest motivation, and every smile she managed to draw on their faces was worth all the effort. She remembered the nights when, after putting them to bed, she stayed up late, planning and preparing for the next day. It was in those moments of solitude, when the silence filled the house, that Clara allowed the tears to flow, but always with the determination to keep going. Martine, at 14, understood more than Clara wished. He had taken on the responsibility of looking after Sophia and Lucas, helping them with their homework and ensuring they behaved well. Despite his young age, he showed a maturity and sensitivity that deeply moved Clara. Sophia, with her creative and dreamy spirit, helped her mother in the kitchen, learning the art of making sweets and creating colorful decorations. Lucas, the youngest, brought joy with his infectious laughter and endless questions about the world. Clara's life was marked by sacrifice. She gave up many things to ensure her children's well-being, from her own desires to basic comforts. However, she never complained. For her, seeing her children grow up healthy and happy was the greatest reward. Her strength came not only from hard work, but also from her unwavering faith in a better future. While selling her sweets on the corner, Clara inspired everyone who knew her. Regular customers admired her determination and the joy she radiated. Some left generous tips, knowing that any help was welcome. Others stayed a few minutes longer, enjoying a conversation with her, soaking up her positive energy. Clara, with her kind and generous nature, always found time to listen and share words of encouragement. On the most difficult days, when sales were low or the weather didn't cooperate, Clara maintained her smile and hope. She remembered her husband's words, who always told her that life was a journey full of ups and downs, but the key was to keep going with faith and determination. That teaching guided her every step, turning each challenge into an opportunity to grow stronger. One afternoon, as the sun began to set, Clara closed her cart and prepared to go home. The fatigue was palpable, but so was the satisfaction of having done her best for her children. Upon entering her home, she was greeted by hugs and laughter, the best reward at the end of a long day. She sat with her children, listening to their stories and enjoying their company. The house, though modest, was full of love and warmth, a refuge built on the foundation of her sacrifices. In Clara's mind, one idea always resonated. No matter how difficult the times were, she would always find a way to move forward. Her smile, her strength, and her hope were beacons that guided her family through any storm. She inspired her children not only with words but with every action, showing that love and dedication could overcome any obstacle. And so, every day, Clara rose before dawn, ready to face the world with a smile and the certainty that, despite everything, she was building a better future for her children. Her story of sacrifice and love was a testament to the unbreakable strength of a mother capable of turning any adversity into an opportunity to grow and thrive. One day, the sun shone with special intensity, and the air was filled with vibrant spring energy. Clara was at her usual corner, surrounded by the sweet aroma of her candies and cakes. Passers-by came and went, some stopped to buy, and others simply smiled at her as they passed. Clara responded to everyone with her usual joy, her candy cart a beacon of warmth in the bustling city. Near noon, when the street was at its busiest, a well-dressed man stopped in front of her cart. Clara noticed him immediately. His elegant demeanor and friendly expression stood out among the crowd. The man, about 40 years old, wore an impeccable suit and a smile that inspired confidence. "Good morning," said the man, leaning slightly towards Clara. "I've heard about your sweets and came to try them. What do you recommend?" Clara smiled broadly. "Good morning. Everything here is delicious, but my lemon candies and chocolate cakes are my customers' favorites. Would you like to try them?" The man nodded, watching with interest as Clara carefully wrapped some sweets. "My name is Alejandro," he said as he took out his wallet. "I've passed by here several times and always wanted to stop. Today, I finally had the chance." "It's a pleasure to meet you, Alejandro," replied Clara, handing him the sweets. "I hope you like them. I make them with a lot of love and dedication." Alejandro smiled, thanking her as he took the sweets. He remained silent for a few moments, observing Clara with a curiosity he couldn't hide. "It seems you have many loyal customers," he commented, pointing to the line of people waiting to buy. Clara nodded proudly. "Yes, I've been fortunate to have the support of many wonderful people. This business allows me to support my 3 children and ensure they have a better future. Alejandro seemed surprised. 3 children? That sounds like a lot of work. How do you manage everything on your own? Clara, maintaining her smile, replied sincerely. It's difficult, I won't deny it. My husband passed away a few years ago, and since then, I've had to manage on my own. But my children are my greatest motivation. Every day, when I see their smiles, I know all the effort is worth it. Alejandro was visibly moved by Clara's story. You must be an incredibly strong woman, he said, admiring her determination. I can't imagine how hard it must have been for you, but your attitude and spirit are truly inspiring. Clara humbly thanked him for his words. I do what I can, like any mother would. My children are everything to me, and I would do anything for them. Alejandro nodded, his expression becoming more serious and reflective. I'm glad I stopped by today, he said finally. Your story is an inspiration, and your sweets are wonderful. Clara laughed softly. Thank you, Alejandro. It means a lot to me to hear that. Before leaving, Alejandro paused. I hope we can talk more in the future, he said with a smile. I'd love to know more about you and your family. Clara nodded, grateful for Alejandro's genuine interest. Of course, I'm always here. It will be a pleasure to chat with you again. Alejandro bid her farewell with a kind gesture and walked away, leaving her with a feeling of warmth and renewed hope. The conversation with Alejandro had been a breath of fresh air in her daily routine, and Clara couldn't help but wonder what else destiny might bring. As the day progressed and sales continued, Clara couldn't stop thinking about her encounter with Alejandro. There was something in him that made her feel valued and understood, something that gave her strength to keep going with an even brighter smile. The following days went by with the same routine as always, but the conversation with Alejandro remained fresh in Clara's mind. There was something in his kindness and genuine interest that had deeply moved her. Although she didn't expect to see him soon, she was surprised when, a week later, Alejandro reappeared at her usual corner. It was a warm afternoon, and Clara was finishing attending to a customer when Alejandro approached, smiling. Hello, Clara, he greeted with the same warmth she remembered. Can I buy some of your delicious sweets? Clara was happy to see him. Of course, Alejandro. What would you like today? Alejandro ordered a varied selection, and while Clara prepared his order, they chatted. I've been thinking about our conversation last week, said Alejandro. I'd like to know more about you and your story if you don't mind sharing. Clara hesitated for a moment, but the sincerity in Alejandro's eyes encouraged her to open up. Well, my life hasn't been easy, she began. My husband, Juan, was a wonderful man. He worked hard to ensure we lacked nothing. But 3 years ago, an accident at the factory where he worked took him from us. Alejandro listened attentively, without interrupting, as Clara continued. After his death, I found myself alone with 3 children. It was a very hard blow, but I knew I had to be strong for them. I started making sweets at home and selling them on the street. Little by little, I gained loyal customers, and that's how I've managed to keep us afloat. It must have been extremely difficult, commented Alejandro, with admiration in his voice. Raising 3 children alone and managing a business at the same time is not something just anyone can do. Clara nodded, recalling the darkest moments and sleepless nights. Yes, there were days when I thought I couldn't continue, but every time I saw my children, I found the strength to keep going. They are my greatest motivation. Alejandro smiled, impressed by Clara's resilience. Your children must be very proud of you. You are an amazing mother. Thank you, Alejandro, Clara replied, with a lump in her throat. They are my life. Everything I do for them. The conversation continued, and Clara felt increasingly comfortable sharing her experiences. and challenges. Alejandro told her about his own life, revealing that he was a businessman with a thriving company, but that he had always admired people like Clara, who showed extraordinary courage and determination. It's inspiring to see how you've turned such a difficult situation into an opportunity to move forward, said Alejandro. I'd like to help you, if you'll allow me. I think your story and dedication deserve to be recognized and supported. Clara was surprised by his offer, but before she could respond, Alejandro continued, I don't want you to feel like I'm offering charity. I believe that people like you, who work so hard and with so much love, deserve a boost to reach their dreams. Clara looked at him, trying to process his words. I don't know what to say, Alejandro. I'm grateful for your interest and support. I never imagined anyone would take notice of my story in this way. Alejandro smiled. Your story is incredible, Clara. You are an example of what it means to be brave and persevering. I want to help you take your business to the next level so you can give your children the life they deserve. Clara felt a mix of gratitude and hope. She had fought alone for so long that the idea of receiving genuine and selfless help moved her deeply. Thank you, Alejandro. I accept your help, and I promise I'll keep working as hard as ever. My children and I are very grateful. Alejandro nodded, satisfied. Perfect. I'll bring you some resources and contacts that I think will be useful to you. I'm sure that with a little support, you'll be able to grow your business and offer your children an even better future. Clara smiled, with tears in her eyes. For the first time in a long time, she felt she wasn't alone in her struggle. With Alejandro's help, she saw a path to a brighter future, not just for herself, but for her children as well. The sun was beginning to set when Clara finished her workday, but her heart was full of hope and gratitude. Alejandro had said goodbye, promising to return with more details on how he could help her. Clara couldn't stop thinking about how fortunate she was to have met someone so generous and selfless. A few days later, Alejandro appeared again, this time with an envelope in hand. Clara welcomed him with a smile, though a part of her felt some unease about what the envelope might contain. Clara, I've been thinking a lot about how I could help you in the best possible way, said Alejandro, handing her the envelope. I want you to take this and open it when you get home. Promise me you won't open it before. Clara looked at him with curiosity, but also with trust. I promise, Alejandro. Thank you for thinking of us. Alejandro smiled, visibly satisfied. I know everything will go well, Clara. You are a strong woman, and you deserve the best. With the envelope firmly in her hand, Clara said goodbye and began to walk home. The way seemed shorter than usual, and her mind was full of speculations about what she would find inside. Upon arriving home, she was greeted by her children's hugs and laughter, which always managed to make her feel better, no matter how exhausting the day had been. Clara waited until the children were in bed to open the envelope. Sitting at the kitchen table, under the dim light of the lamp, she took a deep breath and broke the seal. What she found inside left her breathless. Inside the envelope was a handwritten note from Alejandro and a significant amount of money. Clara began to read the note with trembling hands. Dear Clara, I have been deeply moved by your story and the strength with which you face each day. This sum of money is a gift for you and your children, so you can ease your burdens and start building the future you deserve. I want you to know that this is not a loan or charity. It is an investment in a person I deeply believe in. With admiration and respect, Alejandro. Clara couldn't hold back the tears that began to roll down her cheeks. The amount of money was more than she had ever seen in her life, enough to radically change her situation. She could pay off the debts that had burdened her, secure her children's education, and most importantly, stop working on the street. She spent long minutes at the table, processing the enormity of what this meant for her family. Alejandro's words resonated in her mind, filling her with overwhelming gratitude. For the first time in a long time, she felt she could breathe easily, that the dreams she had relegated to the back of her mind could start to come true. The next day, Clara took her children out for a special breakfast to share the good news. The children, though young, understood the importance of the moment and were filled with joy and hope. Martin, the eldest, hugged his mother tightly. "Mom, I always knew something good would happen. You deserve it." Sophia and Lucas also expressed their excitement, imagining all the new things they could do. Now, Clara looked at them with love and determination. She knew that although the money would give them relief, the real difference would come from the constant work and love she had always put into everything she did. Clara decided to invest part of the money in opening a small sweet shop, a place where she could sell her products without having to face the weather and street difficulties. Additionally, this would allow her to spend more time with her children and offer them a more stable life. With Alejandro's help and his network of contacts, she found the perfect location and soon began preparing for the grand opening. The children helped enthusiastically, enjoying every moment of this new adventure. The shop, decorated with warm colors and personal touches, reflected Clara's spirit, a place full of sweetness, hope, and love. The opening day was a resounding success. The community came out to support Clara. Those who had been her loyal street customers now filled the shop, happy to see her business grow. Alejandro was present, smiling with pride at how his help had made such a significant difference. Clara, standing behind the counter, looked around and felt a wave of gratitude. She knew that her life and that of her children had changed forever thanks to Alejandro's generosity and her own determination. Now, with a new source of income and a bright future ahead, Clara was ready to face any challenge with more strength and hope than ever. Clara's small sweet shop, Sweet Dreams, quickly became a beloved place in the community. The warm decor and the aroma of caramel and chocolate attracted customers, while Clara's constant smile and her children's kindness created a welcoming atmosphere. Each day, Clara worked tirelessly, but this time, she did it in a safe place of her own, away from the harshness of the street. A few days after the opening, Clara decided to review the envelope Alejandro had given her. Again, she had already used part of the money for the shop but hadn't had time to calculate how much was left. Sitting at her kitchen table, she opened the envelope and began counting the bills. When she finished, she realized there was still a significant amount left, enough to ensure her family's well-being for a long time. With her heart full of gratitude, Clara decided to use part of the remaining money to pay off the debts that had burdened her for years. She went to the bank and cleared all the outstanding accounts, feeling a heavy load lift off her shoulders. With the rest of the money, she decided to secure her children's future education. She visited the best schools in the city, looking for a place where Martin, Sophia, and Lucas could receive the education they deserved. The first stop was at a prestigious school Clara had always considered out of reach. As she entered the building, she felt a mix of nervousness and hope. She was received by the principal, a kind woman who listened attentively as Clara explained her situation and her desire to give her children a quality education. "Mrs. Clara," said the principal after listening to her, "I am impressed by your dedication and love for your children. We are delighted to offer full scholarships to Martin, Sophia, and Lucas. We want to support families like yours and provide the opportunities they deserve." Clara, with tears in her eyes, thanked the principal. "I don't know how to thank you," she said, her voice breaking with emotion. "This means the world to us." Back home, Clara shared the good news with her children. Martin, Sophia, and Lucas couldn't contain their joy. Martin, who had always dreamed of studying at a good school, hugged his mother and said, "Mom, thank you for everything you do for us. I promise to make the most of this opportunity." Sophia, with her creative nature, began imagining all the new things she would learn and the friends she would make. Lucas, though still young, understood that something wonderful was happening and joined the family celebration with his contagious laughter. The first day of school at the new institution was an exciting event. Clara, filled with pride, accompanied her children to the door, ensuring they were ready for this new chapter in their lives. Watching them enter the building, she felt a mix of pride and relief. She knew she had done the right thing and that her children now had the opportunity for a bright future. The following days brought a different but gratifying routine. Clara dedicated herself to her sweet shop, which prospered more and more. Customers came not only for the delicious candies and cakes, but also for the warmth and hospitality that Clara offered. Her children, for their part, quickly adapted to the new school, showing their talent and dedication in every class. One day, while Clara was tending the shop, Alejandro entered, bringing with him an atmosphere of gratitude and admiration. "Clara," he said with a smile, "I have been following your progress, and I am very impressed. Your shop is a success, and your children are thriving in their new school. I couldn't be happier for you." Clara, moved by his words, responded, "All this is thanks to you, Alejandro. You gave us the opportunity we needed, and I don't know how to thank you enough." Alejandro shook his head. "You don't need to thank me, Clara. Your success and happiness are all I desire. Seeing how you have transformed your life and that of your children is the greatest reward I could receive." Over time, Clara's shop continued to grow, becoming a meeting point for the community. Clara began hiring other single mothers and people in need, offering employment and an opportunity to improve their lives. Her business was not only a financial success but also a beacon of hope and solidarity. The relationship between Clara and Alejandro deepened, becoming a solid and meaningful friendship. Alejandro, always willing to offer advice and support, became a father figure for Clara's children, whom they adored. Thus, Clara and her family's life took an incredible turn. Alejandro's generosity and Clara's tireless dedication created a circle of kindness and gratitude that continued to expand, touching the lives of everyone around them. With a secure future and a present full of love and hope, Clara knew she had finally found the stability and happiness she had long desired for her family. With life taking a new direction thanks to Alejandro's generosity and her own tireless effort, Clara dedicated herself to ensuring her children's future and realizing her dreams. The opening of her sweet shop, Sweet Dreams, had been just the beginning of a series of positive changes that would transform her life and that of her family. The shop became a landmark in the community. Her children, Martine, Sophia, and Lucas, enjoyed helping after school, learning about responsibility and the value of hard work. Martine, inspired by his mother's dedication and the quality education he now received, began dreaming of attending university. Sophia, with her artistic talent, contributed creative ideas for the shop's decor, and Lucas, the youngest, charmed customers with his energy and charisma. Over time, Clara decided it was time to take another step. With part of the remaining money from Alejandro's generous help, she bought a small adjacent shop and turned it into a cafe, where customers could enjoy her sweets with a cup of coffee or tea. This new space allowed Clara to expand her business and offer more jobs to the community, maintaining her commitment to helping those in need. The cafe's opening was a special event. Alejandro was present, along with many friends and loyal customers. Clara felt overwhelmed by everyone's support and affection. The cafe quickly became a popular spot, known not only for its delicious products but also for the cozy, family-like atmosphere Clara had created. The The new financial stability allowed Clara to make important decisions for her children's future. Martín, with his excellent grades and passion for studies, received a scholarship to a prestigious university. The excitement in his eyes when he received the acceptance letter was one of Clara's proudest moments. Sofia, on her part, began attending art classes, honing her skills and dreaming of a career in design. Lucas, still young, continued enjoying his childhood in an environment full of love and opportunities. With her business thriving and her children prospering, Clara decided it was time to give back to the community that had supported her. She began organizing events at the shop and cafe to raise funds for local causes, supporting other families in difficult situations. She also started offering free baking workshops for single mothers, sharing her knowledge and helping them find a source of income. One day, while Clara was organizing one of these workshops, Alejandro approached her with an unexpected proposal. "Clara," he said with his characteristic smile, "I've been thinking about how we can help the community even more. I want to create a foundation in your name dedicated to supporting single mothers and their children, providing education and resources to build a better life." Clara was speechless, deeply moved by the proposal. "Alejandro, I don't know what to say. It's a wonderful idea, but I don't know if I'm up to something so big." Alejandro took her hands and replied tenderly, "Clara, you have already shown you can achieve incredible things. Your story is a testament to strength and resilience. With this foundation, we can help many more people find the same path to hope and stability." With Alejandro's support and his network of contacts, the Sweet Dreams Foundation became a reality. The foundation provided scholarships, job training, and emotional support to single mothers, following Clara's example. The community rallied to the cause, and soon the foundation began making a significant impact on people's lives. The relationship between Clara and Alejandro continued to grow stronger. Alejandro became a close family friend, offering not only financial support but also advice and affection. Clara's children saw him as part of the family, and his constant presence gave them a security and stability they had never known before. The years passed, and Clara watched her children grow and flourish. Martín graduated with honors and began working on a project that combined his love for history and education, inspired by his mother's lessons of perseverance. Sofia, with her creativity and talent, opened her own design studio, creating pieces that reflected the beauty and hope she had always found at home. Lucas, now a young man full of energy and ambition, continued exploring his interests, knowing he had his family's unconditional support. Clara, looking back, couldn't believe how much her life had changed since the day she met Alejandro. From selling sweets on the street to survive, she had become a successful businesswoman and philanthropist, touching the lives of many people with her kindness and dedication. Alejandro's generosity had been the catalyst, but it was her unbreakable spirit that had made this transformation possible. With her shop and cafe thriving, her children growing up, and the foundation helping so many people, Clara felt happier and more fulfilled than ever. She had proven that with love, hard work, and a little help, any obstacle could be overcome. And so, Clara continued on her path, knowing that her story was an example that kindness and generosity can truly change lives. Clara had found a new life full of stability and hope thanks to Alejandro's generosity and her own tireless effort. However, she felt a deep need to return the favor to Alejandro somehow. She wanted to show him how much she appreciated everything he had done for her and her children. One day, while attending her shop, Clara decided to talk to Alejandro about her feelings. At the end of the day, when Alejandro arrived for his usual visit, Clara invited him to sit at one of the cafe tables. The afternoon was quiet, and the warm atmosphere of the place provided the perfect setting for a sincere conversation. Alejandro, Clara began, serving him a cup of coffee. I've been thinking a lot about everything you've done for us. You've changed my life in a way I never imagined. I want to do something to thank you, to give back everything you've given us. Alejandro smiled and took a sip of his coffee. Clara, seeing you and your children thrive is all the thanks I need. Knowing that I have been able to help you achieve your dreams is the greatest reward. Clara insisted. I know you say that from the heart, but I really want to do something special for you. It's not just about returning a favor, but showing you how much I value your friendship and generosity. Alejandro looked at her tenderly. Your gratitude is more than enough, Clara. But if you really want to do something for me, keep doing what you're already doing. Helping others, inspiring the community, and raising your children with so much love. That's what I want most. Clara felt moved by his words, but she still wanted to find a concrete way to show her appreciation. After thinking carefully, she decided to organize a special event in Alejandro's honor. An event that would celebrate not only his generosity, but also the positive impact he had had on so many lives. With the help of her children and the shop's team, Clara began planning a big party at the cafe. They invited all the friends and loyal customers who had supported Clara over the years. The shop and cafe were decorated with flowers and lights, creating a festive and welcoming atmosphere. On the day of the party, Clara made sure everything was perfect. When Alejandro arrived, he was surprised to see the number of people gathered and the special decorations. Clara greeted him at the entrance with a radiant smile. This party is for you, Alejandro, said Clara, with gratitude in her voice. We want to celebrate everything you've done for us and show you how much we appreciate your generosity. Alejandro, visibly moved, looked around the room, seeing the smiling faces of everyone present. During the party, several friends and community members spoke to thank Alejandro and share stories about how his help had made a difference in their lives. Clara also stood up to speak. Alejandro, you have been a light in our lives. Your generosity has given us a new beginning, and you have been a source of inspiration for me and my children. Thank you for believing in us and being a true friend. This party is a small token of our gratitude and affection for you. The audience applauded, and Alejandro stood up to respond. Thank you all for these moving words. Clara, you and your children are the true inspiration. Seeing how you have transformed your life and how you continue to help others is a reminder of what kindness and determination can achieve. I don't need anything more than to see you happy and prosperous. The party continued with laughter, music, and dancing. Clara felt overwhelmed by the joy of the moment and the warmth of the community that surrounded her. Alejandro, surrounded by grateful friends and people, looked happy and satisfied, enjoying the event organized in his honor. That night, when everyone had left and Clara was picking up the last things, Alejandro approached her. Clara, you have done something wonderful today. You have not only celebrated my help, but also shown how much you value the community and the spirit of giving. Clara smiled, feeling a deep peace and happiness. Thank you, Alejandro. This community means everything to me, and you are a big part of it. You have taught me that kindness and generosity can change lives, and I want to follow that example every day. Alejandro hugged her and responded, I'm sure you will, Clara. Your generous heart and unbreakable spirit will continue to inspire many more. Thus, with the celebration still fresh in her memory, Clara continued on her path, knowing that true gratitude is shown not only with words, but with continuous acts of love and generosity. Her bond with Alejandro, based on kindness and mutual respect, was proof that selfless acts can create lasting and positive changes in the world. The bond between Clara and Alejandro strengthened over time, becoming a deep and meaningful friendship. Alejandro became a pillar of support for Clara and her children, not only financially but also emotionally. His constant presence and wise advice were invaluable, and Clara always felt grateful to have him in her life. Clara's sweet shop and cafe prospered, and the Sweet Dreams Foundation that Alejandro helped establish began to have a noticeable impact on the community. The scholarships and training programs offered by the foundation provided new opportunities to single mothers and their children, helping them build a better life. Clara dedicated much of her time to the foundation, working directly with the beneficiaries and offering her own story as inspiration. One of the most significant moments was when Clara decided to share her experience at a community event organized by the foundation. She stepped onto the stage, nervous but determined, and began talking about her journey from the loss of her husband to the transformation of her life thanks to Alejandro's help and her own determination. "When I lost my husband, I felt lost and hopeless," said Clara, looking at the audience. "But I knew I had to keep going for my children. I started selling sweets on the street, and although it was difficult, I never lost hope. Then I met Alejandro, whose generosity and kindness changed our lives forever." The audience listened in silence, many with tears in their eyes. Clara continued, "What I have learned is that we are not alone. The community, the kindness of strangers, and mutual support can make a big difference. Now, with the Sweet Dreams Foundation, I want to give back what I received and help others find their way." The applause that followed was deafening. Clara stepped off the stage, feeling stronger and more confident than ever. Alejandro hugged her, proud of her bravery and her impact on the community. "Clara, your story inspires all of us," Alejandro said. "I'm proud of you and everything you have achieved." The foundation continued to grow, and Clara became a respected and beloved figure in the community. Her shop and cafe were not only thriving businesses but also centers of support and friendship for everyone. The community events, baking workshops, and charitable activities she organized helped strengthen community ties and provide support to those who needed it most. Alejandro, always present, offered his advice and support. He had become a true friend of the family, attending the children's school events, helping them with their studies, and celebrating each of their achievements. Martín, Sofia, and Lucas saw him as a father figure, someone they could rely on and learn from. One day, while Clara and Alejandro were walking through the nearby park, she expressed her feelings of gratitude. "Alejandro, you didn't just give us financial stability. You gave us hope and a new family. I don't know how I can thank you for everything you've done for us." Alejandro smiled. "Clara, your success and happiness are all the thanks I need. Seeing how you have transformed your life and your children's lives is the greatest reward. I'm happy to be part of your life." The relationship between Alejandro and Clara continued to grow, based on respect, admiration, and deep mutual affection. The kindness and generosity they had shared had become the foundation of a connection that inspired everyone who knew them. Clara and Alejandro demonstrated that the power of kindness and generosity could change lives. They inspired others to be more compassionate and supportive, creating a wave of positivity in the community. Clara's story, from her humble beginnings to her current success and happiness, was a testament to the lasting impact of selfless help and hard work. Together, Clara and Alejandro continued working to improve the lives of those around them, knowing that, in the end, the true value of generosity lies in the love and support we provide to others. Their bond had not only changed their lives but had sown seeds of hope and kindness throughout the community. Clara and Alejandro, united by a deep sense of purpose and gratitude, continued their work of transforming lives through the Sweet Dreams Foundation. Clara's sweet shop and cafe had become meeting points for the community, places where kindness and generosity were the main ingredients. Clara and Alejandro's story spread throughout the city, inspiring many to be more compassionate and supportive. People from different backgrounds began getting involved in the foundation, offering their time, resources, and skills to help single mothers and families in need. The foundation grew, expanding its programs and extending its reach to more communities. One day, during a foundation meeting, Clara and Alejandro decided to launch a new initiative, a comprehensive scholarship program for talented students from low-income families. This program would provide not only financial support, but also mentorship and professional guidance, ensuring that students had all the tools they needed to reach their full potential. The first scholarship award ceremony was an emotional event. Clara, with tears in her eyes, recalled her own challenges and how a helping hand had changed her destiny. Addressing the scholars, she said, "Always remember that no matter how difficult the circumstances, hope and hard work can take you far. And when you get to where you want to be, don't forget to help others achieve their dreams too." The applause filled the auditorium, and Alejandro, by her side, felt a deep satisfaction seeing the impact of their joint work. The foundation was not only changing lives, but also planting seeds of generosity and compassion in future generations. Clara continued dedicating her life to the foundation, always finding new ways to help the community. Her sweet shop and cafe remained a success, and she often organized charity events and free workshops to share her love for baking with others. Her children, Martín, Sofia, and Lucas, grew up with the values of generosity and service to others, following in their mother's footsteps in different ways. Martín, now a young university student, decided to study law with the intention of working on public policies that supported families like his. Sofia, with her creativity and artistic talent, became a graphic designer and collaborated with the foundation creating campaigns and promotional materials. Lucas, still in high school, got involved in volunteer activities, learning from a young age the value of helping others. The community, inspired by Clara and Alejandro's example, began to change. Acts of kindness and generosity multiplied, creating an environment where everyone felt supported and valued. Clara's story became a local legend, a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of kindness. One day, while Clara was in her cafe, Alejandro approached her with a special proposal. "Clara," he said, "I've been thinking about how we can ensure that the foundation's work continues long beyond our lives. I want to create a community center that offers resources and support to families in need. It will be a place where everyone can come to learn, grow, and receive the help they need." Clara, moved by the idea, responded, "That would be wonderful, Alejandro, a legacy that continues helping the community for generations. I'm with you on this." The Sweet Dreams Community Center became a reality. It offered a wide range of services, from educational programs and skills workshops to emotional support and legal advice. Clara and Alejandro worked tirelessly to ensure that the center had all the necessary resources to thrive. The center's inauguration was a monumental event, attended by the entire community and local dignitaries. Clara, visibly moved, gave a speech that captured the essence of her journey. This center is a symbol of what we can achieve when we unite with kindness and generosity. It is a place where everyone can find hope and support. Thank you all for being part of this dream come true. Alejandro also spoke, expressing his admiration for Clara and his gratitude for being part of her incredible story. "Clara, you are the true inspiration here. Your strength, your love, and your unbreakable spirit have created a legacy that will continue impacting lives for many years. I am honored to have walked this path with you." The applause echoed as Clara and Alejandro cut the ribbon, marking the beginning of a new era for the community. The community center became a beacon of hope, attracting people from all over who sought a helping hand and a place where they could feel safe and supported. With time, Clara reflected on her incredible journey. From the days when she sold sweets on the street to becoming a successful businesswoman and community leader, her life had been proof of the transformative power of kindness and generosity. Alejandro, always by her side, had been the catalyst for that change, showing that a single act of kindness can trigger a chain of events that changes lives forever. Clara, with her heart full of gratitude and love, looked to the future with hope. She knew that, along with Alejandro and her family, she would continue working to make the world a better place. A sweet dream come true thanks to the kindness and generosity of everyone involved. What an exciting journey we've just experienced together. But this is only the beginning. Click on the next video that appears on your screen and keep enjoying amazing content. If you want me to keep bringing you these stories every day, consider supporting me with a coffee through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the pinned comment. Your support is what makes it possible for me to keep telling these stories. See you in the next video.